Alright, this is my DIY bicycle ice tire. You can see that right here is what it looks like. This is the original. All it is some screws, self-tapping screws, screwed in from the inside. They are these screws specifically. I might need more of them. I'm running low. That box was partially used when I started, so I'm gonna run out. But once I'm done, I'm going to take anti-puncture strip, which I'll have to go find where I placed it, but I'll put the anti-puncture strip inside. I'm going to be replacing inner tubes as well on what's currently on my bike. So when I'm done, I'm going to take those. They're extra thick inner tubes from Slime, and I'm going to cut a slit in it and place this inner tube, which is just a crappy old one. It's in the garage, but it'll work, inside that one. And it's all going to go on a rim that actually this originally came off of, but not using it. So together, all this is going to be a permanent wheel for winter. Like, I'm not going to be switching it back and forth once I put it all together. I'll just take the whole wheel off when winter's over and replace it back with the wheels that are currently on it. But the way I've been doing it is I just have a drill with a bit that's a little bit smaller than the width of the drill, the screws. And this is hard to do on camera, but I just choose the spot, I drill a hole. So right there, I've been choosing it in the thickest part of the where it's all treaded. And here's the hardest part, is somewhere in here there's a hole. And that's the hard part. It's finding the hole. I think it's about right here. Now these are self-tapping screws, so you don't need to drill the hole, but the hole is there to make sure it goes nice and straight right where you want it. And there you can see it coming out. Came off the screw. So now these stick out a little more than I thought they would, or well, not that I thought they would, I hoped, but yeah. So I don't know if I can ride with them out this deep, but I'm going to try it, and if it works, probably stick with it, because I'll probably wear down eventually anyway. And if the ride feels shitty or it starts fucking up the tire, I'm going to probably like grind them off on the grinder, or the file, or probably just the grinder. So this is just an old tire that I wasn't using. It's not my main tire. That way, if something goes wrong, I have alternatives. But if it goes right, this will be my permanent winter wheel, and I'll just switch it out when it's not winter. Alrighty, so I finished my ice tires. This is the back one. They're on some ice. I haven't gone to test it yet though. Here's the front one. It's a different pattern. It's a different tire. I don't expect this one to last too long. It's in worse condition than I thought it'd be. But we're going to try them out. I think it'll work. Plan one a little bit different. This one in the back, I put some cloth strips behind the screws, between the screws and the inner tube, to give it kind of a buffer so the inner tube don't get fucked up by the screw heads, just in case. And then in this one, I only had one anti-puncture strip, so I put it in the front one. I don't know what happened to the other one, but this one I actually found a coffee table edging strip. That was like silicone or something. It didn't say what it was, but it felt like a cross between silicone and like vinyl, kind of. It's sticky. I don't know, it was weird. Anyway, I put that in here as like a 90-degree angle, and it seated itself right here in the middle real nice. Actually liked how it turned out, so I kept it pretty centered. This one just got the old puncture strip, which is all warped and whatnot, so it just got what it got. And yeah, I'm going to try it out on some ice. You can see there's some nice deep grooves where I stopped. Just where I ride in general. That's solid ice. And those are carved in it like a good 1/4 inch or so. These ones here, I can feel the pavement. Or yeah, the asphalt, whatever. It does indeed look like they're wearing down like I thought they would. But it's definitely worth having that extra grip. And they'll probably wear down to flush with the rubber and probably work better than anyway. So the front one was supposed to... Yeah, they're wearing down too. But, yeah, these are definitely working. Alrighty, I've ridden on my ice tires for about 20 miles or so, I would estimate. I did not actually keep track of it, so I don't know what the actual distance was. But they definitely work really good. They leave nice deep gouges in ice, especially when braking. But it's a trade-off. On cement and asphalt, you kind of slide around. And as you can hear, I slid a little bit as I came around the corner. I think part of that is because the spikes are so long that the rubber doesn't make full contact with the ground like it should. So once they wear down, I think there'll be a better balance of asphalt and ice. But right now, they're definitely really good for ice. There's another trade-off, and that's of sound. They are definitely a lot louder when you're riding on asphalt and whatnot. As you hear, they're pretty loud. Doing about 15 miles an hour now. It's go faster, but it's spikes. I don't want to slide too much, but some people were slower. But this is about how loud they are. Yeah, they definitely work. They haven't lost any air, at least not the front one. The back one's got a leak in the valve stem, so it lost a little bit of air, but it doesn't seem to have lost any more than it did before I put the screws. So it seems to be holding air. So that piece of cloth and the anti-puncture strip are definitely enough to help protect your inner tube. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. They work good. They got some pros and cons, and they're cheap to make. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, you know what to do with them.